Seems like the general consensus a lot of times, in order to be disciplined, is to push yourself. Now, this is interesting because I'm very against that because it doesn't work for me. For some people, in order to establish discipline in certain actions and to consistently follow up on them, they are okay with just like setting that bar and pushing themselves towards that, and just like that pushing can fuel them. But with me, that never works. If I try and push myself towards something too much, I guess, because it is a balance. If I try and push myself too much, then that's when inconsistency starts happening. Or I guess what I'm saying is the discipline has to feel like it's my created discipline. And in order for that to happen, I basically move in baby steps. So I'm doing, just a little bit and then building on that, because as you do a little bit, then you raise your standard for your tolerance in those actions, however many you want to build consistency and discipline in. So you raise your standard, and then you just continuously just keep doing a little bit so that your standard keeps on growing and you're able to do various different things at a high level because you gave yourself that time to build the adaptation for that initial consistency. And that's really changed my life in many ways. Another thing to think about is how much you want to push yourself and how much appreciation you're developing, to where it doesn't really feel like external pushing. I think that's where you start to really start creating your own discipline, which is going to help you be more consistent, because when you have an external discipline that you're not really sold towards, or you haven't like aligned your intentions by in a deep way, then that's how consistency is going to get lost, because it feels like you're doing someone else's discipline or some external idea that you're not really about. It's discipline. So when you create your own discipline by appreciating whatever action or interest or idea that you want to continue growing, you appreciate it in the deepest way and in the most creative detail you can, to where it's really your idea of it. And then you grow in that consistently, and it doesn't feel as much like you're externally being pushed. You're pushing yourself, but it's in the best way, because you're creating that pushing for yourself. It's your discipline. You're going at your own pace. You're just consistently growing. But yeah, where do you lie? Some people, they just love to push themselves. They're gonna set this goal, and maybe they'll go 0 to 100 overnight and just never look back. And maybe that feels great. Obviously, you have fucking heroes like David Goggins, who just he sits in that discomfort of pushing yourself. And you know what? There is value to that. Okay, like I do want to do more of that, and I fit one of those. Like, consistently I'll do positive stressors, I guess, like cold showers, or running for really long distances. And I could be a lot better about doing that, though, just to have at least one thing that really pushes me past my comfort zone. I mean, another positive stressor is how hard I lift weights and do MMA, I guess. But I guess I am getting kind of content, or not content, but I am raising my standards, so I'm not really pushing myself in that mental zone that could be really beneficial, like what David Goggins does. You just you go above and beyond, maybe do that once a month. I mean, yeah, that sounds great. I'm gonna have to think about that. But yeah, what do you do?